you believe in a God?
No.
All right. Well, one of my things is let's say you die, right? Why wouldn't you want to believe in something? Because there's no reason for you not to believe in something, you know? Because if you die, right, and there's no God, then there's there's nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? You just die. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if there is God, then there's everything wrong with dying. It's so much worse.
How? What do you mean?
Can somebody that believes in God go to hell?
Yeah, if they do wrong things.
What if they believe in the wrong God?
Well, then that sucks. But at
Okay.
least you have a
You
chance,
believe
though,
so
right?
you are now you have now set yourself up for going to hell
Well, at
by
least I have a
possibly
chance at
believing in the
something.
wrong God. You better change which God you believe in before you die, just in case.
Yeah, but at least I have a chance, you know? I mean, there's a chance that there's a wrong God. You know what I mean? But if I'm not believing in
There's an
anything.
equally good chance that not believing in God doesn't send you to hell.
Wait, say that one more time. Sorry.
There's an equally good chance that not believing in God
Uh,
doesn't send you to hell either. The
yeah,
philosopher
but
Peter Griffin actually had a conversation with Yahweh in an elevator about this.
okay. Well, okay. Well, I'm just saying, you wouldn't think that you would want to believe in just anything instead of just being not believing in anything? You know what I'm saying? Instead of being an atheist, or if that's what you are, you're an atheist, right?
If you believe in the wrong God, then you are the equivalent of an atheist.
Yeah, but wouldn't you want to believe in something rather than nothing?
Shouldn't you believe in everything to guarantee that you don't go to hell?
Yeah, but you can't do that.
Okay.
That would go against whatever that religion's beliefs.
Sure, but there could be any number of imaginable religions where whether or not you believe in any god, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
This afterlife insurance
Uh,
that you are regurgitating that Blaise Pascal came up with is just complete nonsense.
all right, all right. Well, that's it.
What do I I'm an
Yeah.
agnostic atheist, yeah.
Okay, so I actually don't disagree with a lot of things you say here, but I want to talk about how I believe that I know the truth to the universe.
Uh okay.
Okay, I believe that there is a multiverse and we come from other universes, and I actually believe with a lot of religious people is that we have a purpose in here, and that's what I want to talk about.
What makes you think there are other universes that we come from?
Yes, it comes from the because of probabilities, right? So I believe in that because I believe we have a purpose. For example, because of coincidences that are not necessary for life. Um, for example, like when we are on Earth, right? The moon and the sun may appear to be the same size, even though they are not the same size. So it's kind of like a message, like telling us, let here we have a purpose. You know what I mean? For example, like the moon and the sun could be other sizes and life could still be possible on Earth. And that's kind of what I believe that we have a purpose in here because we have like a kind of like messages and coincidences.
Uh jeez. Uh what do you even say to that? So why do you think the sun and the moon are special?
Because it's kind of like a message that we have purpose in life. It's kind of like it's a
How does it
coincidence.
tell you that?
Because in life in a universe that was created randomly, right? Life could still be possible if the moon and the sun could be different sizes, and we just be more far away, more.
Why would
So
why would the sun and the moon appearing to be different sizes not be a message?
so it is kind of like yeah, that's the reason, like, because it is not, if they were different sizes we would never know that we were meant to be here. So there, yeah.
That wasn't really my question. My
So
question
I
was
bet,
if they were different sizes, why would that not be a message?
so I'm gonna explain to you. I believe that the universes evolve, so we come from another universes. So it kind of goes to the reason that it be based on evolution. So if the sun and the moon would not be the same size, we will never know that we have a purpose in life, which will make it so we will never help the universe. So it's kind of like evolution. Like if there will be different sizes, we will never know that we have a purpose. That's kind of like, and the universe will never survive and reproduce like I believe it should.
That you're just so not answering my question. So I'll just
Yes,
ask a different question. No, no, you're not. Not at all. What? So, what is our purpose then?
I believe that we have a purpose because we are supposed to help the universe survive and reproduce.
That's
Yes.
interesting.
Yes.
And how is it that the sun and the moon tells you that?
So, because if the moon and the sun will appear to be different sizes, we will never know that we have a purpose.
I
So we
know
will
you've
not
said
help
that
it.
like 4 times. I'm asking
Yes.
you, how is it that they do tell us that we have a purpose?
Because if they could be different sizes, and life would still be possible on Earth. So it is about it is about coincidences that do not apply to that do not are necessary for life. For example, and it is very. I don't know what you don't get. Like,
You're not saying anything. You've just
yes,
said the same thing like 4 times. You're not
okay,
explaining
Can
to
you
me.
okay? Answer your question again.
What is the message that the sun and the moon are giving us?
The message is that we are meant to be here to help the universe survive and reproduce. That's the message.
How does it say that?
Because I believe that the universe survives and reproduces and that evolves, and in a scenario where the sun and the moon will not be will not appear to be the same size, in that scenario we will not help the universe survive and reproduce. So we are less
That's
likely
like
to
the
see.
6th time you've said, well, if they
But
weren't the same size, there could
okay.
still be life, but we wouldn't know our purpose. You're not.
Okay,
You're
yes.
not answering the question.
Okay, no, it has to be along with it has to be a lot with if there will be a different sizes, we will they will the universe is less likely to have them because we will not help the universe survive and reproduce. And if we help the universe survive and reproduce, they are more likely to be there. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, for example, if somebody's born without legs, they are less likely to survive and reproduce. So it's the same argument. If the moon and the sun will not appear to be the same size, they will be less likely to survive.
Well, your mic's
size.
cutting out, so
So,
I'll just
to appear
interrupt
to
and
be the
ask
same
you a
size.
question. How is it that we are
Okay,
going
okay.
to help the universe reproduce?
That's the main argument, right? That I don't know yet, but I interpret the message from I interpret that as a message. That's kind of like, I mean, I have some theories of how we will help them. We will help the universe, but I don't have right now
I'm
facts to prove
begging
it.
you to tell me those theories.
Okay, so I was thinking about maybe like we will help like the universe, goals, or like make the universe call,
You're
will
cutting out.
help us like achieve our goal.
Oh, what the heck?
Hello, Anna.
Yeah. Okay.
So so yeah, it is about like maybe like the black hole, like we will help the universe, like, black hole with maybe we will help the universe.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, you're completely unintelligible at this point. Not just like because of what you're saying, but like it was all robotic. It sounded like you were microwaving a toaster underwater.
Jump. There's a piece missing there when it comes to the evolutionary. And another thing, like what evolved first, the male or the female? Because it doesn't make sense for evolution standpoint. Both would have to evolve simultaneously.
No,
And that
you could probably have hermaphrodites first. In fact, a lot of simple organisms are hermaphroditic.
right, and so that would be the case. But if something is hermaphroditic, it's technically more efficient to be able to mate with anything rather than having then divide yourself into male versus female.
Yeah, but if distinct organisms slap cloacas together, then what you get is genetic recombination, which is more evolutionarily advantageous when the environment is changing.
Well, yes, but you could say that could happen, but it wouldn't make sense then because then you would have to have, even if that's the case, you would still have to have somebody that now becomes a male and then be able to just completely reproduce with someone who's a female. And then
Yeah.
obviously the part about like the jump, and basically there was no life, there was nothing, then all of a sudden there is life. That just doesn't make sense.
I don't think it would have. I don't think it would have happened that way. It would have been a gradual process. We would have never said at this exact moment we now have life, and the nanosecond before that we wouldn't have life. But abiogenesis and evolution are completely different things. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about, but
I'm not familiar with agenesis or whatever it is.
that's life from non-life. The emergence of life on the planet is abiogenesis. Evolution is something different.
Right, and I'm not trying to get like a gotcha. I'm just curious about discussing it. It's just even with that being a thing, like yes, life had to evolve gradually. At one point, it is true that something had to be considered not alive and that it is alive. It can't be semi-alive. There's no like pseudo-alive. It's either it's alive or it's not. And even if we're just talking about a single-celled organism, like a sudden single-cell organism being into creation doesn't make sense. In fact, if we're looking at just scientifically speaking, scientists supports it isn't supportive of evolution when it comes to that degree, because we've always observed that life comes from life. We ourselves have never observed something that was not alive become alive.
Yeah, that would have been probably a singular event in history. Yeah, like nobody's ever seen a wolf turn into a chihuahua because it already happened.
No one's ever seen a rock.
It's not supposed to happen again.
No one's ever seen a rock turn into a single-celled organism. Not like something come into a chihuahua.
We wouldn't expect to see it.
Yeah, no, we haven't. That's what I'm saying. If we're going off of just straight up evidence, the evidence is supportive of that.
No, it's a singular emergence of life on the planet is overwhelmingly supported by the fact that all life on the planet is related.
If you're saying that like we share our DNA with 98, like for instance, we have like 97% DNA match with a banana. If that's what you're referring to.
No, us and bananas, it's like maybe 1%. No,
we share 97% of our DNA with bananas.
No, I promise you that we don't. I'm aware of where this. Most people say 50. We share 98.6 with chimps, but that the thing about bananas and 50%, it's a total myth. I know where it came from. It's a complete misunderstanding. We share maybe like 1% of our genes with bananas, but we share we share DNA and at least one gene with every life form on the planet. All life forms do. So
Right. I mean, yeah, as I said, this wasn't like a gotcha moment. I just wanted to know if anyone had any answers when it comes to like the creation of life, and it seems like at least that's just a lap in science's judgment where we don't know. We genuinely do not know where life began. We can make speculations, and at least when it comes to me, what I could observe, thanks for your time, but it just doesn't support it, evolution. But it was nice talking to you.